What is going on, gamers? Aevatrex here, and you know that new dungeons in this channel means that FlameSeeker came back. So go ahead and I'm gonna show you how to go through 6-1 all the way to 6-10 and how to 3-flame 6-10. Now there's a few things that I can tell you. The heroes that you can use, it depends a lot on your heroes that you have already, especially if you don't have a Minotaur. If you don't have a Minotaur, you might have an issue in these dungeons, but I've seen them done before with 5-10, so it's possible again, but it's probably going to be much harder now with totems and heroes like Demogorgon in here. Now, one of the things that I did throughout this whole run is bring troops to kind of just spawn them in little little openings that are on the bases or where you're gonna drop, to see if you can actually find totems to proc before you actually deploy. Because a lot of times I would deploy and then a totem would kill me right away. Like right here, I'm trying to see if there's some sort of totems in the area that'll just go off as soon as I'm dropping them. So keep that in mind. Another big thing with these dungeons is to try to hold either your Guardian Angel or your Snowstorm to as long as possible, because every single second counts in these kind of dungeons, and you need every single millisecond that you can get to either get that extra buff or get that extra proc. Now, a few things about my heroes, the heroes that I'm using right now. I use an 8 of 8 War God Minotaur. So yeah, if you don't have an 8 of 8 War God Minotaur, it might be a little harder, but at the end of the day, really what it comes down to is Pumpkin Duke stacks. Pumpkin Duke minus Revitalize, but I did put 4 Berserk Crest on him, and he was on Blitz Artifact. I think that's one of the most important thing to do, is put Pumpkin Duke on Blitz. If you have Minnow, put him on Axe of Strife. And any sort of damage dealer, you want to make sure that you put them on Axe. Another important tip here is that Green Fiend actually was really valuable in some of these dungeons. When he procs, not only does he wipe a ton of buildings in one direction, but he's actually immune to stun, and he can take off debuff. And he actually surprisingly did quite a bit of damage to these heroes. Even though these heroes have like 1,000 inscription, he actually did quite a bit of damage to them. So Green Fiend might be a good option. Vlad also can be a good option. Another hero that could possibly be very strong is Santa Boom. Even though these dungeons have heroes like Phantom King, some have like Harpy Queens. If you can get a lucky Santa proc in the right place, you might just get over 50%. Now remember, in these kind of videos, I'm just trying to get to the last dungeon to get them to farm. So I don't really care how many flames I get. I just want to make sure I go through. This one was actually, I think I found this one to be one of the hardest ones. I spent a good amount of time on this one. It was a good like 20 minutes on this one, trying to get the right proc, trying to get the right drop. But at the end of the day, we're able to get 2 flame, get 56%. But I think that one was probably one of the hardest one, even harder than the last one. So keep that in mind. Now on this one, I tried pretty much every corner, and it looks like this corner was just the best one, because the Demogorgon just stayed alive just enough usually to get me going, and by the time I would reach the middle, it would be around 48%. So I just needed that extra proc that I got right there. Now I don't know exactly what took it out, but we're able to do it. We got 6-9. This is probably one of the easiest ones to do because they have a Skull Knight out there, and as you guys remember, on 5-10 and a lot of the dungeons on 5, if you were able to get the Skull Knight out, you were golden. Now I kind of mess up on this one because I snowstormed the Skull Knight, but he revives of course, and then is able to proc. So I was able to do it like that. This is one of those dungeons that you can probably easily 3-flame as long as you have a few tries, but I don't really care about 3-flaming that one. The next one here is the one that I care about 3-flaming. I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down just a little bit so you see everything that I do. But essentially, this whole dungeon is, there is a Skull Knight totem right next to that tree, the Trentar. So your whole objective is to get close enough to get the Skull Knight totem to proc on that Trentar. That way that Trentar acts like a Skull Knight and you can get stacking on that one. So there is the Skull Knight totem right there. and it's gonna go right on that Trentar, and from here on out you just snowstorm whatever might come your way and get stacking on that Trentar. Get stacking on that Trentar, hope your minnow will proc the right amount of things, and of course Spirit Mage is also very crucial on this one. Now my heroes got to the middle a little too early, but Minotaur saves the day with a last hoorah proc right there. Just in time, Minotaur. So there we go, 6-1 to 6-10. It took me, I think it would took me about an hour or so to get them all through, but it is all done. Now I'll probably start focusing on Hebe Monsters AF. And it looks like some people already beat it, so it's probably not that hard to beat, so I'll get cracking on that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this video helps you guys out. And until later.